right, this is our review of Sean Byrne's The Devil's Candy, which is the movie made after The Loved Ones. The Loved Ones, awesome, amazing. It is in our Buried in Hell film series. A link in the description below. Check it out if you have not before. It took 5 years. It seems to do about 5 years apart, and so let's see if it was worth the wait.
So this is a spoiler-filled review of The Devil's Candy, and if you haven't seen it, go check it out!
Alright, you're back, which means you've seen it, so we're all on the same page. Basically, an artist guy somehow scrounged up enough money to get a house. Never explained, but that's okay.
We just bought a house.
And the house is quote-unquote haunted, but not in the way we kind of normally think of, and that really works. So, alright, these are the likes, and actually, as I hinted to right beforehand, one of the things that I liked is it sort of flipped the whole haunted house idea. Not entirely unique, but certainly different enough to be interesting. If you read the description of the movie, it says haunted house, so immediately you're like, okay, I've seen that. But no, this house isn't haunted in the way of like doors closing by themselves or, you know, something in the corner. No, this house is ostensibly either, you know, owned, occupied, or possibly rented out by Satan himself. And the occupants, or at least the former occupant especially, are very, very influenced by Satan. So, that was one of the things that I liked. What about you?
Well, you know, this was made in Australia,
correct?
Right?
Yes.
And it is out of the U.S. norm, so I did like, of course, me being a gore fanatic, I like that he sawed children, sawed their limbs out.
In Persia, horror.
Yeah, no, okay.
Hurting.
Well, and, you know, and like shocking, right? Because, like, you don't see that in the U.S., which is what your point was saying. Yes, and it showed, like, just how... okay, you know what? Actually, I'm going to piggyback on that because one of the things I liked about that, so that guy was not your, you know, slasher killer or even a serial killer.
No,
you know?
it's just some guy.
He was just some, and they didn't hire a pretty boy actor or anything like that. He was being, you know, influenced by Satan to chop up children and then go after another child because children are the devil's candy. Which, okay, fine, whatever. But the point being is that it was very, very effective. That he, like you said, was just like doing these god-awful things, and they actually showed it, you know, somewhat, and that he was just a slub and everything else, and so, yeah, that was absolutely perfect, and I really, really enjoyed that as well. It is dislikes time. I know we had some, so I'm going to throw it over to you. Start with us off here.
Well, oh, I wish there was more gore.
You always wish there was more gore.
We all wish there was more gore.
Okay, alright.
Even though it did show that it did infer that he was going to cut the child in half.
Yeah.
I wish we saw it.
I know, we all wish it.
But I'm not a sadistic person or anything, so.
Yes, you are. But the point being, maybe, is that it was rated R, and there were some gore scenes, but I guess you're saying it wasn't enough for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't enough.
But here's the most important and salient question at this point. Is it ever enough for you?
Yes.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Okay, name the movie that was enough gore for you.
Devil's Rejects.
Oh.
That was good.
Not gory. Alright, fine. Moving right along.
That was moderately good. Anyway, I wish there was more gore, and I wish we did see the child's limbs being cut and him screaming.
Or maybe sticking out of the black duffel bag. That would be cool, too.
We have problems.
Huh? Regardless, moving right along. One of the things that I always harp on and on about, you guys know, are either plot holes or inconsistencies or things left hanging. In this film, they actually got, you know, the money and the backing to get the star power of fucking Murray Abraham, F. Murray Abraham himself, and utilized him in the role of, you know, the gallery owner that was, I guess, either Satan or Satan.
Was he though?
Well, or his, you know, agent or something like that. Anyway, it was set up that this was important and that there was a lot of potential, and it was all left on the table. All of it. And that was a tragedy. I was kind of talking with you about this before. It's kind of a relatively short film, actually, like 90 minutes or so. And I get the sneaky suspicion that a lot of stuff was cut. And possibly even changed. And I say possibly even changed. Because that brings us to the #1 dislike that I think you and I both had about this movie. It's chugging along, despite the lack of gore, despite the dropping of the F. Murray Abraham character. It was actually rocking and rolling, right?
Right.
It was like, you know, it was intense. It made sense. They flip-flopped the haunted house thing. They had this amazing painting. We didn't mention that sort of changed throughout and was like really a sinister painting. You want the painting in your house, don't you?
Yeah.
Of course. Okay. And then the end comes, and my God, it just all falls apart. It did. I mean, like,
with all that fire, and I feel like there was just too much going on. I can't really follow it, but
well, yeah, there's all this fake fire and more fire that, like, you know, I mean, set on fire twice. I can tell you that when you're surrounded by all that fire, you're not just sitting on a bed kind of going, hey, Dad, rescue me, you know. And then, like, oh, actually, you know what? I remember you cringed on this one, the gas can. Exploded.
Oh yeah, and what was it? Just a minor explosion.
It's a whole it blows out windows, and they're just like, "Hey,
so
I'm
we
okay."
all, yeah, well, no, we're okay.
Yeah, and then, you know, the fact that everybody survived at the end was a problem to me as well. Now, I know you're saying, "Oh, Dante, you always want a negative, bad, unhappy endings." That is true. It is also true that, tying back to what I just said, the F. Murray Abraham character was talking about sacrifice.
Right.
In a sort of literal as well as, I think, metaphoric sense. And so as such, it would have been perfect if the father sacrificed himself to save the daughter.
Honestly, that's how I thought it was going to happen.
That would make sense, right? And that would be, you know, okay, the daughter still lives, like you say, it's a happy ending. But it comes full circle, it wraps everything up. But like you said, when a gas can blows up and everybody's fine, and Dad gets out of the window, and they drive off into the sunset at night, and it just, boom. And I guess the big problem that I just said before was that it was trucking along so good. So good. It was going to be like, yes, Sean, you've done it again. This is another great one. Maybe not as good as Loved Ones, but still very, very good. And then it's like,
I wonder what the meaning behind that was. Like, why?
That's like shit. That's
like, why do you think it ended that way, or why do you think some scenes were cut out? Why?
Budget, time. You know, there's a myriad of reasons. Studio took it from him and edited it. We'll probably never know. This didn't really get the wide release that it deserved. But, you know, my hope is that there was a lot more to it and that it had a different ending, but it's just hope at this point. We have nothing else to go on. All right, it is Pinhead time. I am curious to know, what are you going to give Devil's Candy?
You know what? You first. I feel like you're copying me all the time with this.
No. Okay, that's fine. I'm more than willing to go first. Like I said, this movie was rock and rolling, going along, awesome, and then the ending just destroyed it, utterly destroyed it for me. I have to give some respect for what was done beforehand, and I have to punish for what was done at the end, so I'm going to go middle of the road right now and say 3 pinheads. Boom. Easy. Now, let's have you serve it up here.
I was going to give it 3 pinheads, too.
Wow, that was quick. Who's copying who? All right, well, no explanation needed, I suppose. Your 3 pinheads, my 3 pinheads, that's going to make this a 3 pinhead movie. All right, so that's our review of The Devil's Candy. What did you guys think? Please let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe to our channel, like the videos. Speaking of like, you apparently like that very much. So you have some candy there. What flavor is that?
I think it was Little Timmy. One time?